Hello and welcome to Hobby Hangout with painting happy little mini stars. Stars.
What?
With painting happy
You
little.
can't win with a straight face. You can't even.
Yeah. How many times have we told you don't day drink? No day drinking.
Welcome to Hobby Hangout. My name is Leona. I'm one of the editors here at Game Trade Media, and we also have Dave Taylor and Gretchen, who are the hosts and stars of Painting Happy Little Minis.
I appreciate that so much. I'm putting that on my resume, host and star.
Please comment in the chat if Dave and Gretchen are the stars of your life.
Oh, everybody's live now.
Oh, yes. No,
but everybody's live.
Yeah, I went from show to life.
The next convention that we're at, that Dave and I are both at, red carpet that up. It's gonna be beautiful.
Normally we have a blue carpet in our booth, but we'll have a red one this time. So. Yay! So welcome everyone who is watching, and those of you who have been commenting. I want to say a special hello to Michael Harris and David Moffat. Graham, hello. Kat, hello. Good morning to you, afternoon, evening, or whatever. Yes.
It's fine.
Hello to Roger. Hello to Mark. And David says, look at those superstars. It's true. Yeah, that's who we have in the. Oh, and Sumkey is here as well. Hello.
Excellent.
If you can't day drink, what else are we going to do during quarantine? That is true. We are going to paint some miniatures because that's what Hobby Hangout is all about. I drank my caffeine. If you can't tell, I'm really pumped for today. So let's get right into it. Dave, what are you planning on painting for today's show?
I am painting this guy. Oh, where is it? There we go. So this is the top half of a Chaos Knight that I'm working on. Last week before, one of the weeks, I went through and I was able to paint 4 of them during the week. So I was really excited.
Oh, no.
Upside down. There we go.
Right side up. Here we go.
So I've got this guy. I've got 3 others that are similar to this, like the bipedal, Big Max. And then this guy that I'm working on at the moment gets to be on the quadrupedal.
Oh, that is a thing.
Nice. Looks like a centaur.
Yeah. He'll be a crazy centaur for sure. And the cool thing is, with this guy, he has an enormous shield.
Woohoo!
So the original kit is from Games Workshop. This is a 3D printed aftermarket part. And so is this enormous shield.
Oh, nice.
Is this one's a resin cast kit from the UK.
I love it.
Yeah,
so you're working on detailing today?
I'm working on doing the all of the trim around the armor plates.
Gotcha.
So all of this is getting a lovely coat of tinny tin. I know is my favorite.
It's your favorite flavor.
It's my favorite flavor. All of these armor plates have had tinny tin painted around the edges.
One day I'm going to make you cupcakes, and I am going to paint them tinny tin. Except edible tinny tin.
Well, technically it's edible.
Technically.
I've been licking it off the brushes for years, so it hasn't affected me any.
Sure. I'll believe that.
Yeah, that would be cool. I would enjoy those cupcakes.
Be delicious. Also, Graham says, I have my cup of tea ready. And Justin says, good morning. Hello to you. David says, I'm equipped with tea as well because it is the drink of kings.
I'm glad this falls on tea time for so many people.
It's coffee time for me.
Fun fact, I have a teacup collection.
And apparently it's an unsponsored logo brand.
Couldn't help myself.
Yes. Also, our friend from Zeberman. Aloha with a cup of tea. Yeah, I think the first one was closer. Sorry. Put it in the pronunciation in the chat, and I will not mispronounce your name.
You will.
Which is good.
You can try.
Gretchen, what are you going to be painting?
So for those of you who have watched episodes since I first started here, like 2 years ago, actually, how weird is that? Time flies when you paint. But in one of the first episodes, I think it was like within the first 5 episodes or something, when I had first signed on to Happy Little Minis, we painted these dragons. And they were big, and I was new at painting, and I only got done with a base coat in this nice pale kind of minty green. So I figured I had this around. I have, thanks to Leona, a whole bunch of paints at home now. No time like the present to actually try to finish this guy up. Now that I have new skills and I'm a faster painter. So chat, I have a question for you guys. Originally I was going to make this a very leafy kind of dragon, trying to make him very naturally green, look like he would blend in with the forest. But I'm kind of also thinking maybe of doing a emerald green and try to make like the spikes look all crystally, which I've never done. So I don't know if I can do that, but we can pretend. Dave can give me tips. He's right here. I can pick his brain. You have no choice, Dave. But yeah, chat, should I go natural in the leafy sense, or should I go like emerald crystal green? Your choices are green and green, but
green or green? Which one?
Which?
Yeah, so what
green or the green?
The green or the green? As Gretchen had said, we have been doing the show for a while, so if you are interested, check out our other past episodes on YouTube. That is something that you can do. Sorry, Dave, what were you going to say?
I don't know that I was going to say anything.
Oh, okay. That's fine. We have...
I think I was saying emerald. Go with emerald.
What? On the wind?
On the wind. Some key says you started painting that dragon while you were still green. Timothy says emerald green. David says crystal him up. And Roger says natural. Ooh.
Both are from nature. But yes, 1 vote for natural, 2 votes for green. Strange Dave whispering for emerald green.
Also emerald. Maybe we can get like a couple more votes in the chat. But yeah, while we're kind of waiting for people to respond, if you guys like miniature painting and enjoy our conversation, feel free to share this with your friends on your various platforms, or just tell them to check out the show so that they can join the conversation as well. And while you're watching, if you guys have any questions whatsoever about miniature painting or different miniature techniques, feel free to ask them in the chat, and that is something that we like to talk about and answer and help keep everyone informed, because honestly, if you have a question, other people definitely have it. So make sure you ask away if that is on your mind.
Yep. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. A super plan.
Super plan.
Some key says paint him natural crystal green.
Justin right below him.
Yep, emerald green. So it looks like maybe emerald is the way to go.
Emerald it is. We'll try it out. We'll go for it. I have some nice emeraldy green colors to get on there. So we'll start off.
What colors are you picking?
I think I'm going to start with jade green. It's kind of a slightly more blue in it green.
Yep.
But it seems like it's a good midpoint to start with. So if I get those shadows with a darker emerald green, it'll be able to pull from that. And if I do what hopefully will become very dramatic highlights to get that crystal effect, it gives me plenty of contrast still. Unless, Dave, you have a better suggestion for making a crystal dragon.
I think whatever you choose, you're going to do absolutely just fine with it. But I think my initial thought when you said jade green, it all depends on which company's jade green it is. But I think jade green might be a little light. I'd be tempted to go with something a little bit darker as a base.
We got this. We got plenty of colors to choose from. Let's see. I have some orc flesh with the contrast paints.
Right.
Let's see.
Might be a bit too. I think something that leans a bit more towards the blue end.
Yeah. Let's see.
Real quick, while you're finding the paint, I just wanted to highlight some comments. Kat says, if you go with the natural look, make sure you have some blood drippings. Ooh. After all, he feeds on forest folk. This is a major... Kat, you have given a dark backstory to this track.
I was in the forest just the other day, feeling so naturey. Like, I was feeling like a forest folk, and now I'm gonna be like looking for dragons. I came across so many critters on my jog. It was magical. I made a groundhog so angry.
Hey.
He fell down a hill and landed next to me and looked up at me like it was my fault.
Odd-sided dice podcast, hello, welcome, says natural but with a crystal belly. A happy little mini smog.
Oh.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Also, Mike Becker says, hey squad. Hello, Mike.
Hey,
welcome. Mike. Also, Mike says, super excited for the D&D Sapphire Dragon.
Oh, I didn't even know that was not even in my brain space.
I'm going to have to check that out.
You have to look that up.
Yeah.
And Thumkey says, if you choose crystal, just don't use a whole quarts of paint. Hey, here with the jokes. Graham says forest and mossy greens.
Green sounds good.
For the bluey green. Oh, also, I guess I should talk about, I'm actually painting a miniature as well. Here, let me zoom in on myself. I got myself the neutral heroes from Song of Ice and Fire. Here we go.
Excellent.
That's what I'm painting, and I'm painting Brienne of Tarth because she is a large miniature in that
that box
set.
And she's a badass.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I'm working on her hair right now. I thought it would be good. Most of the miniatures I've painted are bigger, more like fantasy, so I thought it would be good to actually try a is this a 38 millimeter?
32. Probably,
32.
Roughly.
Okay. Yep. 32 millimeter miniature. I don't actually have any primer. So Dave, you can tell me if this was a bad idea. I actually took white miniature paint and gave that as a coat.
That was a bad idea. No, just kidding. That was a good idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's just fine as well. But yeah, always a good idea to give a coat over the miniatures to start with. That way, if you do have any, it's very rare, like with a lot of plastic miniatures, but if you do have a little bit of a mold release on it, by brushing that first layer over, you'll know where you need to go and clean it up a little bit.
That is true. I can see that.
Yeah.
Much more evidently. Michael Harris actually put a link, Mike Becker put a link for the Sapphire Dragon if you're looking for it. Those of you in the chat, it was actually the Facebook one, this one right here. Or Dave, you can look for it. And David Moffat.
Already found it.
David Moffat says, you could get your hand cut off painting Brienne of Tarth. Ah, ha, ha. Oh, we know.
Yep.
So yeah, so this is what we're all painting today. Those of you who are watching, let us know what you guys are painting in the chat. We would be very interested to hear what current works in progress you are working on.
Indeed.
And stuff like that.
That would be good. One of the things that I'm really excited about for like finishing this guy and the other 3 nights that I have to do, the other 3 are smaller, is that I can stop using Tinny Tin for a while. Because I think last week I was working on painting up some scenery.
Yes.
And so I've been working on that scenery for a couple of weeks. And before that was the gaming table that they're all sitting on. They have all these memorial plaques all over it that are in bronze. So they're all the base coat of Tinny Tin. So essentially in the last 2 months, I've gone through an entire bottle of Tinny Tin and a half, bottle and a half. So I'm ready to not be painting it anymore.
I forgot how spiky this guy was.
Yeah.
Like going over all the spikes, and I'm like, gotta make these all crystals. This is gonna be a more than one Thursday event.
What color did you end up choosing?
So I actually mixed 2 based off of Dave's suggestion. So I had the jade green because I feel like it had a very emeraldy color.
Okay.
But I darkened it up a little bit with the Vallejo dark sea blue, which has it's a green blue, so it didn't really change the color too much. But I feel like it darkened it up without going, keeping it still a richer color than what black would do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, good choice. Good choice. I like that color.
That's awesome. So you did decide Crystal Dragon?
Yeah, we're gonna go Crystal Dragon because I'm a painting masochist and I like learning new things. I don't even like painting 2D crystals, so I'm not quite sure why I was like Crystal Dragon. Other than in my brain, I was like, this would look cool. But
correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, but I feel like once we painted crystals on the show, and it was a lot of like dry brushing.
There was the episode we painted up some of the
crystal walls.
Yeah, that was
spell effects, I think.
The spell effect, yeah,
I wasn't there for that show.
The spells, yeah. And I think was it Mia?
Yep, it was Mia and her friend.
Yep, and Megan.
It was Mia.
Yes.
Right.
Because I remember seeing her crystals.
They were really good. Yeah. So I think because it was a whole bunch of crystals working like together, dry brushing was the quickest way to get that to pick up on that texture.
Gotcha.
With crystals that are individual, it's a little bit different. But I do have some.
What is this show even for, other than learning techniques?
Exactly.
You'll have to drop some knowledge, Dave.
Oh dear. I wasn't prepared for that.
Well, that's okay. I got a lot of non-detail painting to do.
Your star power will lead us on. I'm not letting that one go. Even though I should.
I want stars now. I want little Hollywood stars, except it's just Studio GTM.
Chris says hello. Hello, Chris.
Hey,
Thanks
Chris.
for joining us. Roger said, I am reworking the colors on a couple of feral trolls.
Excellent.
They are way too dark and repainted them.
Cool.
Chris says, no painting today. They are on vacation in Cape Coral, Florida. Stay safe out there.
Yep.
David Moffat says, if I can get it. I am starting a 31-day challenge from Warboss Take. I'll build and paint a Relictors Terminator kill team.
Excellent.
Nice.
Cool.
Does July have 31 days?
Yes.
I think that would make sense.
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Michael Harris. Yeah.
That's the only thing I care about.
Michael Harris is working on the Reaper Cider Dragon, Cinder. Gosh.
See, it's like day drinking, telling you.
I have plenty of red dragons, so I'm painting him like a brown dragon. I need one for my current campaign.
Cool.
That sounds awesome. I'll get to Kat's question. I just want to...
What's the breath weapon of the brown dragon?
What's the breath weapon?
I'm a little bit afraid to ask. But at the same
Stink.
time, I'm infinitely curious.
Michael, tell us, what is the breath weapon of the brown dragon? Dave is curious.
Yes.
Graham says, I am painting up some more snake men from the Frostgrave range.
Excellent.
And also Michael Harris says, if you want some shine on the green, use metallic paint for the base highlighting areas.
Okay.
Also, so Kat had asked, left field question, any possibility of having your guest... Wow, today reading is not my channel.
It's okay.
Any possibility of having as your guest painter the big guy, Rick? How is he doing?
He visited once in the studio.
Yeah. Rick has fallen down the TikTok rabbit hole, apparently.
Yeah.
You a TikToker now?
He is a TikToker now. Apparently there aren't a lot of people on TikTok doing D&D content.
Gotcha.
Rick's been enjoying that. I know that he was finally able to move out of the motel that he was in, the Red Roof Inn. So he's now in an apartment.
Cool.
But yeah, I think now that he's in the apartment, over the next month or so, he's going to be starting sort of Zoom video call chats with the stores that he was going to be visiting over this time, sort of as they're opening back up, and so he can get back in touch with them and promote them to the wider community.
That's
so that's
awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely
That's
good
super
that
cool.
Be able to do that.
I love that.
One day, Kat, I think we'll have him back as a guest for sure.
Yeah, that is a great idea. I would not be opposed to that. Also, Justin says, I want a cider dragon now.
He just screams at you in beautiful apple cider.
I also want a cider dragon.
Mike Becker says, painting more cities of Sigmar troops.
Excellent.
35 more to go on this batch. And apparently the bronze dragon breath weapon is lightning, or a repulsion cone.
Okay, that's the bronze dragon. But who was painting it? Michael?
It was Michael Harris, actually.
Okay, you said he was painting a
brown dragon.
Brown dragon.
Brown dragon.
I'm very curious. And also deathly afraid.
I'm going to find out.
Oh, you're gonna...
It's a line of acid.
Ooh.
It does a line of...
Okay, that's all that...
Just took me straight back to college.
It's how it was written. I don't make this stuff up.
Yeah. But so Kat said that she's glad that he is doing things. Yes. Imagining him being caged up was a terrible thing. Yes. Yes. Rick's not one for sitting still. So. But no, all good.
All good.
But speaking of not sitting still, I know that one of the three of us, is planning a bit of a trip.
An adventure.
An adventure.
So at 10
adventure.
because I'm a hobbit, and these are my hobbit genes kicking in.
Right.
Well, you're a hobbit, but okay, you have Took in you.
Okay, they were river folk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm way too deep.
I know, it's okay, and I hold in my heart lots of respect for any Lord of the Rings references people throw at me. I found out that the kitten I plan to adopt is ready to go. And originally, he was going to be shipped from Florida to me. And then COVID happened, and that's no longer plausible. So guess who's road tripping with a bunch of her buddies, my adventuring party, which was great because I didn't even have to invite people. I was just like, I'm going on a road trip to Florida, and like 5 people were like, not without us. And I was like,
That's
yeah,
great.
a fellowship.
You have my sword.
Well, they are actually
My
coincidentally.
party.
Every single one of these people is from my swords group.
Yeah.
So the entire
They
party,
actually have their swords as well.
a little bit. Everyone there. We have a guy who prefers saber. We have a guy who prefers montante. Like, you know, we got this. We're down. But yeah, we're road tripping it out to Florida. And we are going to take shifts, and we're going to start driving tonight, and we're going to get the kitten tomorrow evening, and then we're going to turn right back around, because the only thing we're catching in Florida is a kitten, and we are going to drive right back up to Maryland. And then we're going to quarantine for 2 weeks. The next show, I'll have a kitten, and he's a Maine Coon, and he's giant. He is 10 weeks old, and he's already larger than my previous cat. And he is just fantastically giant. The woman who has him now has been calling him Motorboat. We're looking to change that name. So far, we have Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle as a potential name. We have Smog as a name because he's gray, and he's big. And actually, Leona had a really good idea, which was Physic as a name. I like that one a lot, actually. That one's winning in my brain right now. But yeah, if anyone has any potential names for a giant, gray, fluffy cat, drop them
in the chat.
Yeah, drop them in the chat. We'll put them on the list of potential names. I've been looking at a lot of book names, a lot of fantasy names.
Yeah, we were talking, so for a little backstory, we were talking before the show went live about the cat and the whole journey down there, and we decided that we should open it up for chat
purposes.
Chat to understand, you guys can help us name the new cat. Especially, yeah. I said maybe we can make it miniature related. So like, hey, if there's a great miniature paint name, Tinny Tin, I think, is off the table.
Tinny Tin is for Dave's cat.
Sure. We'll be a robot cat.
But yeah, this guy, he is estimated he has the extra large European genes, and he is estimated to get 20 to 25 pounds at the least.
That's bigger than my dog, who is 15 pounds.
I'm going to live stream the road trip. I am definitely going to. I'll probably be doing most updates from the road trip on because it's going to be 6 swords people. So 6 swords-based martial artists in a rented van.
Your security robots back.
And we're gonna go collect this kitten, who's it's gonna be a little adventure. So we're definitely gonna be live streaming parts of it. They'll be on Twitter. If you want to check that out, it's my Twitter, which is just my name because I'm boring.
Kat says, my youngest just drove from New Jersey to Oregon. A very odd time for road tripping during a pandemic. Okay. I'm sure it's difficult because like you can't. I know some places they won't have bathrooms open. So like, where do you go to the bathroom?
So
always take a shovel.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not too concerned about that. We have a bunch of supplies with us, and we're all people who have road tripped and stuff before. So we're not too concerned about the road tripping itself. I was just sad because I was like, oh man, like I love the beach. And I would totally be down for stopping at a beach because it's Florida water and not like, don't get me wrong, California is beautiful. Been there. I was taken in. I was enamored. It was sparkling. It was clean.
Oh,
There
but
were
you don't
beautiful
like California.
surfers who were just walking by with beautiful surfer hair. And then I ran into the water like a golden retriever and I realized it's ice cold. Florida, don't do that to me. Florida's nice. Florida's like, this is what you get. And you get into the grimy, the water, but you know what? It's pleasant and warm.
It does warm up, yeah.
Warm, grimy water.
But, well, I mean, I was raised like an hour away from the Gulf, so
yeah.
I have low standards. But yeah, no, to go to Florida, it is a 15-hour drive. Because I just saw someone say, wow, America is big. I can travel from the UK end to end in 6 hours. Nope, this is a 15-hour drive.
Yep.
We're all going to drive in shifts.
Sorry. Someone on Facebook was talking about, oh, I'm just putting up the wrong comments. It's okay. Since I'm on comments, we had some name suggestions. Ooh. Timothy suggests Goliath for a name. Thomas suggests Hodor for a name. Justin says, hope you have fun with that, Gretchen. I have a 14th-month-old Bengal, and he's already 9 kilos, sorry. Ask Dave to tell you what's that in
Thanks, Drew. That's about 20 pounds.
Yeah. I looked at Bengals. I did. I looked at
Calvary Brown. That could be your cat's name.
Calvary Brown, for sure.
I looked at the idea of Bengals, but I wanted something fluffy.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was like, okay, well, what's the next biggest, fluffiest thing I could get?
I think Roger said Bestal as a name.
Ooh.
Okay.
Kat said for her daughter, she stayed in luxury hotels, hardly anyone there.
Right.
We're not even hoteling it. We are literally just in shifts to try.
Apparently someone on Facebook, which actually if you let the StreamYard access your account, you have to click a link, then we can see who you are. They said one of my clients is an Ashira breeder. Is that a cat breed? It's scary when a full one grows and decides to stalk you while you were trying to work. Ashra.
I don't know what that is, but now I'm really curious.
Oh, and her cat, dang cat. Her daughter took 8 days so they could stop and see things. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I feel like when you drive across the country, it's important to like stop and see the sights.
So,
nope. We got a mission.
An Ashira is a mix between an African serval, which is an African serval, an Asian leopard, and a domesticated cat.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I think they have a different name. They also go by a different name. But I do know what you're talking about because I've seen those breeds before. Savannah cat, not Savannah cat.
But they have actually, yeah, it says people also search for Savannah cat.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I know them under Savannah cat.
Good job.
I would be totally down with having a Savannah cat, except for the fact that I don't think my dog could handle that much cat.
Right. I think they look pretty amazing.
Oh, they are, but they also have dog-like personalities. So if you can't handle the hijinks of a cat with the size and exuberance of a dog, then they're not good for you. But if you can handle that, then they're super fun. My dog doesn't like other dogs very much. He loves cats. He's brought stray cats home before. He befriends them on walks, and then he brings them home. So like he's very he likes more mellow creatures. So this kitten, they call him Motorboat, and every video she's sent me of him has been him being really chill, and he's apparently very lazy, and he has a giant belly that he likes just rubbed.
Right.
And I'm like, that's a big chunk that we want. We want a big lazy chunk cat. That's
Cool.
In terms of traveling, David Moffat says, yeah, it's funny when people from outside North America come to our countries and talk about driving to various cities, not realizing how many days worth of travel that is, which I agree. Well, I had a friend who is from Tucson, Arizona, and she didn't realize how close all the cities on the East Coast were, because she's used to Arizona world, where it's like 6 hours to Phoenix, 10 hours to Flagstaff, like. And so I was explaining to her, like, Baltimore and DC and even Philly and New York, like they're within 4 hours of each other. And she was like, what? I could see that all in a weekend. And I'm like, well, maybe you don't want to do that in a weekend.
No.
oh, it's funny. Yeah.
Up than Tucson, but yeah.
Yeah. I was like, they're all closer. I was like, but there also is more to see.
When we first moved up from Louisiana, my mom would do a different like sightseeing East Coast field trip every weekend.
That's fun.
There was just so much to do and to see.
Yep.
Oh, someone said, name him Sloth. I like that name.
Sloth?
Sloth.
Sloth, okay.
He's a big lazy boy. I'd name him Sloth, and then he would immediately, like, become spunky. I feel like he would just be like, no.
No. Not gonna do that. Cool. So much stuff to paint. So much fun. Getting there, though.
You are. I'm going so much faster with this one.
Yeah.
This is.
Ooh.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great looking base color. Very nice.
I think it's a good base color to go over everything with, and it's a lot more saturated than what I previously had on him.
Right.
It's going on nice and smooth. I don't remember what paints I used for this, other than I watered them down a lot for his wings.
Cool.
Yeah, that was my fault too. When I first did it, was I kept adding water, and that is the opposite of what you want to do with a miniature paint.
Right. Well, not all. It
down a little bit. It's not.
Yeah. It depends.
I think I ended up with your problem where I kept thinning it down too much.
Right.
Graham says, try swimming in the sea off the coast of Felixton. There is a fishing processing plant, and I got covered with fish skin waste product. And
No.
Dave then remarks, that's how Graham befriended all the cats.
That's so scary. That's awful. I would hate that. I don't like being like when I'm in the wilderness doing wilderness things, when I'm like running around and like doing activities, I don't mind being sweaty or dirty or like dirt covered, I guess I should say.
Yep.
But I don't like being sticky or like roady. Like if you were to put me in a bunch of fish skin, I would not be happy. I'd be like, this is not.
Yeah.
I have been swimming with a bunch of jellyfish. They weren't strong enough to like actually sting. But it was a weird experience because they would just like boink into you and you could just pick them up because they were harmless, and they were just squishy. They're like bags of jelly. My friend was terrified of them.
Having grown up in Australia, I'm not actually comprehending any of the words you're saying. I don't know. What do you mean? Could pick it up?
Technically, all jellyfish sting. It's just some jellyfish do not sting strong enough to be harmful to humans, and these were one of those. They were off the coast of North Carolina, I think.
Right.
Wednesday.
Yeah. They don't say, I say shenanigans.
They're them fake jellyfish.
Fake
Kat
jellyfish.
asks, Dave, what is the name of the wet palette that you use? So many options out there. I trust your advice. Yeah, I just saw an article that was comparing the Army Painter one and that one that you have.
Yep. So Red Grass Games is the one that I've got. I haven't tried the Army Painter one yet. I do know the guys at the Army Painter, and they are good guys, so I can only assume that their product is also good. I mean, we use a bunch of their paints, which are all great. My favorite, there it is, my favorite silver. Army Painter metal, gunmetal. Yay! So, but yeah, I haven't tried that one. So I think that'd definitely be worth giving it a go. And soon there'll be a Kickstarter running for the Studio X, which is a travel case with wet palettes as part of it. So that obviously doesn't help. Yeah, it should be not next week, but the week after. It'll be launching. John's got has a prototype already. He has another prototype on the way, and we'll be able to sort of flush that around a bit. Maybe next week, maybe the week after. But yeah, so but that's going to be a little while in production. So if you want to get something in the meantime, either the Red Grass Games or the Army Painter wet palettes would be my choices. That's what I would suggest.
I think those are excellent.
Yep. And Kat says jellyfish are not good. Maybe East Coast jellyfish are wimps. Do not play with California jellyfish. It might be it might be like a Pacific jellyfish and Atlantic jellyfish are two different things.
It actually all depends on the migration and patterns of the jellyfish and where they're localized. I would not normally be the kind to go out, like, disclaimer, I'm not just gonna go out pick up jellyfish. I was originally going to be a wildlife major and behavioralist in college. However, these we found out very quickly were harmless because we didn't, like, no one warned us there were jellyfish. There was no warning. There was no like, hey, there was everyone already out in the ocean, and then there they were, bopping into us and everything. So we would have found out right quick if they were the bad jellyfish. Yeah, don't pick up random wildlife. That's
Michael says Masterson's also has a great wet palette.
Oh yeah, yep.
That's
Masterson's should be able to pick up at like Michael's or AC Moore.
Oh, okay. As opposed to like a hobby store.
Yeah, it all depends, I guess, on what how into painting your hobby store is. So, yeah. That's
true.
Those ones are all good options.
Sunkey says stay away from the grape jellyfish too.
No way. Those ones are great.
Thanks. I know on the East Coast, like on the eastern shore, there are some really tiny jellyfish that will slightly sting you. I think you're right. We have a couple more species that are just tiny enough that they don't hurt you as much.
But we do get great whites.
Yeah.
Not actually so much on the Maryland side of things. In the Gulf of Mexico and around Florida there are, but they did recently have a bunch of sightings of great whites off the eastern shore. My mom sent me a thing. She was like wigging out. I think it was just because there's been a bunch of storms, tropical storms in the Gulf.
Oh, yeah.
And pushed a lot of warmer water up. So they're just like, they're not close to each other.
Mike Becker also uses the Masterson's wet palette, so there's another one. And I like David Moffat's comment, Ziploc isn't such a bad wet palette. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That's like DIY, and that totally works as well. Roger says, I made my own with a sandwich container, paper towels, and parchment paper, and it works great. That is another way to do it as well.
Indeed.
If anyone is wondering how much I fear the ocean, I definitely want to swim in a shark cage with sharks.
Oh, Gretchen.
The answer is 0.
Oh, you don't want to?
No, I do. The answer is 0 fear.
Oh.
Sharks, okay, the sharks, they're not like aggressive. They don't naturally go after people. They just they have really bad eyesight and they get confused and they're like, oh, what's this? And they do that. It's, you know, it's not like they understand gentle. But there's like, if you go out and you're with like
I should put you in touch. I actually know the guy who helps with the sharks at the National Aquarium, like legit, like the scientist who does that. And so I should put you in touch with him because he can.
You should do that because I love sharks.
You can feed the sharks with him.
I would feed the sharks with him. I'd be totally down for that. Like I said, I started off my academic career with wildlife. The only thing that I'm really scared of is spiders, but as I mentioned to Dave previously, Australia would be worth it for a vacation.
Totally. Totally. Speaking of spiders, and Justin is watching, he will remember back to, I guess it was 2001, when we both worked together at Games Workshop in Sydney. At one point, he was bitten by a redback spider, which is like similar to the black widow kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm okay. I'll just walk it off. And we were like,
the difference in Leona and I's faces. Leona's like fear, and I'm like stupidity.
You really should go to the hospital. And he's like, no, I'll be fine. There's stuff to do. And it was like 15 minutes later, he was going, yeah, maybe, could somebody take me to the hospital? And there he goes.
He said, I was waiting for this reference.
Yes.
No.
That's my vague memory of the situation. Justin and I having.
I'm not about that.
But yes, but obviously he is still alive. 20 years later.
Justin, you made it.
Oh, good.
You went to the hospital.
Yeah. So that was, but yeah, that was interesting. Yeah.
Would you guys like to look at some miniatures?
Yeah.
No, I never like to look at miniatures.
Dave hates looking at miniatures. Dave will close his eyes for the next 20 minutes.
Suck it up, Dave.
Oh man, now people are commenting all about Cat. Oh, Gretchen, a shark cage is just teasing them. You are their dinner.
No.
We have so many sharks on our coast and realize most don't really bother you, but don't screw around with the great white. Yeah, that's what someone else said. They were talking about the West Coast. In Cali, Jason James was talking about we are considered a great white nursery.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing: a lot with like great whites and stuff, like they're dangerous because they're big. Like they're big. Younger ones don't really know what they're doing. If you come across like, it would be very difficult to swim with like a full-grown big great white because they're in deeper waters, and the younger ones are a little bit more like squirrely, but.
Take him on.
Justin says the feeling of venom traveling up my arm is something I will never forget.
The moment that would have happened, I'd be like, we need to leave now. Steve Irwin videos raised me as a child.
He said, and I still have a scar from the bite. That's crazy. Oh, wow. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I know people who have been bitten by like wolf spiders and they still have like a little mark on them.
Yeah, but wolf spiders, like nothing, you're just going to get itchy. Like, unless you have a reaction specifically because they're not deadly.
Isn't a wolf spider a brown recluse or are they different?
They're different.
Oh, so I was thinking about a brown recluse then.
Oh, a brown head. Yes. Brown recluses and black widows are the only two venomous, like deadly spiders that you have in Maryland. Actually in America. In North America, they're the only 2 species of spiders that are actually like considered dangerous. Anything else that you would come across that would be dangerous isn't native.
Gotcha.
But brown recluses can be aggressive, but they like rocky areas, and they are like small and brown, and they have like a violin shape on their belly. And I wish I had a better way to describe what their venom does, but this is how my animal behavior professor described it, and it's stuck with me ever since. And he's like, basically, it just melts you from the inside.
Yeah, it does.
But it's not that, like, if you're bitten, you're not just going to like melt from the inside out. Like, you have to let that develop. If you don't go to the hospital.
Yeah, it's it's not as bad as the one that Dave was talking about.
It necrotizes the flesh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that also, just when the boss that Justin and I had at the time, he was bitten by a brown recluse as well. And yeah, so he ended up with a nice hole in his leg.
As soon as you notice, it is no.
He did, but it was an Australian brown recluse.
Gotcha.
So like he was the hospital later. Like,
I'll accept that. I'll accept Australian brown recluse as a reason for that. Yes. Black widows, though, are known for being exceptionally shy.
Right. But we were looking at this, weren't we?
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Enough spider shark talk. Let's look at some miniatures. So for people who are joining us, who may be new, and for those of you who have been here for a long time, we are going to look at some miniatures from the Facebook group called Painting Happy Little Minis. It's where people post their miniatures, talk about miniature painting, ask lots of questions, and it's a great place to see what other people are doing and enjoy other people's hobby as well, or their work as well. So people post throughout the week, and then I grab them for this show, and then we take a look at them just to kind of talk about them and highlight what is great about it. Because honestly, everybody's at a different painting stage, so it's really fun to see where people are in their own like painting journey. Right now we have Graham with a Walking Dead character.
This is Rick. This is Rick from the first episode, second episode, where he when he rides into Atlanta on the horse. Super cool. I love it.
I love it.
I love the yellow stripe.
Yes. I think it's really clean and it's nice. Yep.
And I know Graham said that he doesn't like painting horses, but I think you've done a great job here, Graham. Looks like you've got some great sort of fur texture on there as well. So the horsehair texture. So well done.
Yeah, if people are interested, we painted horses from the Dothraki box from Song of Ice and Fire, and that was a episode that went out in February, I believe. So definitely check that out if you're looking for tips on how to paint horses. We went through some good tips. Next up is Robert with a 40K Orc Mech Workshop, and he actually said he was going to use this for his Fallout terrain
as well. Yeah, and Robert's been the last couple of years has been all Fallout all the time kind of thing, but this looks really cool. I think absolutely awesome. Loads of tools. All the spanners got the red paint on them.
I like.
It's kind of easy to sort of pick
it little pops of color like that. It's cohesive. As a, I'm not thinking of the right word in my brain.
Like a piece. It's as a piece of terrain. I agree.
Yeah,
the red,
a whole piece.
The red helps bring it together.
Yes. Thank you for reading my brain.
I just love so if you look at all the hammers have all the wooden handles on the hammers are all the same, and on the spanners you've got the red on all of them, on the spanners and wrenches and stuff, and then the yellow on the handles of the screwdrivers. So it's like if you're working shop and you're like,
that is the word.
if you need a spanner, it's like, okay, I'm just looking at the red things. If you need a screwdriver, you're just looking at the yellow things. I think it's from a work point of view, it fits. It works for me.
It's a very it's cohesive and it's well balanced in where all of the colors hit.
Yeah.
Sure. As an individual piece.
Very nice.
Yeah, nice work, Bob.
We have Mariano.
Excellent.
He did not say where this miniature was from.
All right, I didn't recognize it, but I do like that the
especially on this base.
Yeah, the base is throwing me, it's confusing me. But I love that the model is holding their helmet under her arm. Looking very cool.
Can say that is the place to hold helmets.
Yep. But I'm loving all the little pops of gold around it. So the trim for the armor, those knee plates, knee pads. What are they called? What are knee pads called in armor? Gretchen.
I don't do harness spectin. I do block spectin.
Okay.
Kneecaps.
I just call those my knee protections. No, I will say though, like judging the armor of this sculpt and everything, I am so pleased that it's functional armor. Even though it's for a woman, they didn't fall into the age-old like must make this
like
have a big bosom. Yeah.
Yes, fitted to the bosom, because that is bad.
Well, and this actually looks more like classic armor with the cinched waist.
Oh yeah, no, it does for sure. And that the shape
even,
that goes around everything is
even the shape of that helmet.
Correct. It's a very good sculpt if you're looking for something that goes a lot more realistic in flavor. That sword looked giant though, I'm not gonna lie. I got compliments for the armor. The armor's legit, but that sword is gonna be heavy, one-handed.
Nice. Thank you, Mariano. Rob, we have just finished. He would like some comments and critiques.
Cool. Zoom in here a little bit.
This was like this is kind of like a ethereal type creature thing. There's like a dome here, and then these are like spindly legs.
The spindly legs, do they have a metallic sheen to them, or is that?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
This
is cool. Are those are they sort of smoke tendril kind of?
I believe, yes.
Right. Okay. I think it's looking wild.
Yeah.
I think the metallic sheen, and those blues, the blue and purple pushed in there. This works really well with that pop of red from the eyeballs, I guess.
Yeah.
So many things to unpack about this model itself. But yeah, the reddish orange for those eyeballs is working well with that deep blue.
I agree.
I feel like the color scheme is really good for something spooky too. Has those instinctually spooky colors.
Yep.
And it's nice that the purpley blue is very saturated, and then the orange is very saturated as well.
Right. Yeah.
To help balance that out.
It's got a lot of for a darker model. It's got a lot of intensity to it. Yeah. Looking good, Rob.
James says, now you can see me.
Yes. Sorry, James. Hello. Roger Moore with Plant Man from John Carter RPG. which
Yeah.
was by our friend Modiphius from
Yeah.
a while back.
A while
That's a
back.
good blue.
That was only 2 weeks ago, Leona, that we talked about.
Oh, I think, yeah.
Then we talked
You're right.
Modiphius.
Was it really only 2 weeks ago?
Time
Ooh-wee.
space. Time
Oh,
space.
wow.
It's fine. It's fine.
So yeah, we actually, for those of you watching, we talked to Modiphius. Some of you might have tuned into that conversation. I think most of you did, but we chatted about their new Elder Scrolls, but they actually helped create the miniatures for this John Carter RPG, which is really cool.
Definitely. I like this. It's kind of crazy. I don't think I've I'm not aware of the Plant Man.
The blue is just so nice.
It is super cool, isn't it?
It has a good gradient to it.
Yeah, and I can't tell if it's just like contrast paint in here, but like the way that it's sitting on the model and the grooves, it looks, I like how it's sculpting the.
Oh yeah. It's been really well, definitely very well shaded and highlighted.
Yeah.
I think it's done a great job with this. But yeah. No, I love it. And I think the having the reddish orange foliage on the base just pops nicely against that darker blue. But yeah, it looks great, Roger. Nice work.
Good job. We have Thomas with the Triumph of Saint Catherine.
Excellent. This one's a work in progress because you know how I can tell. So see on the base, there are there's little holes in it, black holes there, which is just waiting for other models to be plugged in on it.
Gotcha.
This model itself is just like one of the most crazy pieces I think the Games Workshop's ever done. But,
there's a lot going on here. Yep.
Thomas has done a great job here. I'm really loving the gold against the black, and the gold armor against the like that deeper red, almost red leather kind of look on the top of the beer there.
Here?
Yeah. Yep, in there. But I know so that beer is like a floating beer, 𝙂𝙖𝙢𝙞𝙣𝙜, that's transporting the relic that was St. Catherine. So that's, and for some reason, I think so that they could emphasize there was a relic and not just somebody who recently died. The Games Workshop cut away some of the armor plates. So yeah, you can see it there. So those little lines are bones. So these relic bones being carried in this relic suit of armor on top of this, which is also lifted along by these awesome cherubim.
Thomas says it's his first time doing marble.
Okay. Yep. So did you use? How did you do that? Did you do stippling with the marble, or did you use an airbrush? A little bit tough to tell because they're going to put your name right over the top of the marble work.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's cool. It's fine.
I didn't realize we were going to talk about the base.
Yeah. All good.
How do you suggest to do marble, Dave?
Oh no, I wouldn't suggest any particular way to do it. There are a lot of different approaches.
Gotcha.
Some people actually, I'm not sure if Thomas did this approach, but you can get if you get like a baby wipe sort of thing and stretch it out so that the fibers pull apart and give some and so you can see through it a little bit better. You can then take those and then sort of lie it on the thing that you're that you want to be marble, and then spray it. So let's say you put it down on a black surface and you spray over it with a white primer. The white will go through most of the areas and leave like thin black lines that will look like marble. That's a really good technique for larger areas. So you can use it for armor plates and that kind of thing. But
Thomas said he used a cheesecloth.
Right. Yep.
With the airbrush.
Yep. So yeah, that gives you like a great sort of initial look for it. It'll show you where those marble lines, or the things that we associate, the lines that run through marble. And then you can go through and pick out some of those. You can make those things a little bit deeper, or getting some extra work there. But yeah, definitely cool, Thomas. Nice work.
Looking good.
Yeah.
We have David with a kit bashed cadre fireblade.
Cool. Yeah, this is a
Tater. Sorry.
Fireblade leader. Yeah. So it's a tower model from Warhammer 40,000. But as I said, it's a kit bashed one, so a lot of it sort of additional pieces to give it a different look. I'm trying to really, I think most of the difference is in the legs. So I'm not sure what the base part of the legs is. I'm trying to work that out. But it does look very cool. I think it's done a great job there. And the Tau faces, the Tower of like gray-skinned aliens that have that awesome sort of almost Voldemort kind of look.
I know.
But yeah, this is looking good, David. Nice work. Looking cool.
Jody with a work in progress of a Reaper's Bone set.
Okay, cool. This space looks a little bit like the there's a dragon set. I think. Yeah,
don't something dragon. Don't something.
It's like dragons don't share. Or that.
Dragons don't scare me or something.
I think it's dragons don't share, but
dragons don't share. Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So, I think, but yeah, this is looking nice. I like the like obviously you got the base gray over it, but Jody's got a lot of browns and greens.
Yeah, dark.
Greenish sort of tinges. Dragons don't share. Okay, yep. Cool.
Thank you, Mike.
But yeah, so it's very cool. I like the green and the brown, and adding that extra sort of weathering, that extra depth to it. Definitely looking cool.
I agree. Chris with some Warhammer 40K. Ooh, are they Warhammer 40K?
They are.
I like
they are indeed. These are old models. The hats, yeah, the pith helmets.
Yeah.
These are Praetorians, Praetorian Guard from the late 90s. But yeah, they're sort of modeled to look like British colonial troops, late 80s troops, and very much like that. But yeah, these models would all be metal. They're all well before the resin and plastic that J.W.'s been doing a lot of. But yeah, there's a lot of tough work. And once you've painted all of that red, and then going in and painting all of the white trim on the edges of those jackets and that sort of thing. Yeah. And particularly the guys like the trumpeter and the standard bearer there with that white braid.
Yeah, good job on that.
Yeah, nice work, Chris. They look cool. Very nice.
Layfield paints with an interior of my Valkyrie.
Valkyrie, yeah. Yeah, that's again, the crazy thing here is that saying Chris is watching. This is cool. I say Chris is crazy, because when you put the Valkyrie is one of the flyers. It's like a transport flyer for 140,000. When you put it together, it's going to be really tough to see a lot of those things. So this is an incredible amount of dedication, Chris.
He'll know, though.
He will.
He will know.
And that's the most important thing. Absolutely. But
I know. Oh, look at all these tiny little buttons.
Yep. All the buttons, all the dials.
Boop, beep, bop.
I wonder if he knows what each of those things does. Do you know what they do, Chris?
He does.
Cool. But that looks amazing. Yeah. Nice work, Chris. Excellent.
It'll make for a very completed Valkyrie, which is very cool.
Yeah. No, it's definitely great.
1-inch Heroes, our dear friend Drew.
Drew, yeah.
Has a 57 T-Bird for Fury Road.
Oh no! See, you got confused like I initially did.
Wait, what?
So this isn't the 57 T-Bird. This is these 34 forward.
Oh dang!
So the other car that he's got in the post is the 57 T-Bird that his wife did.
This isn't the one his wife did.
No, that's the one that he did.
Then why did he post this one first?
He posted this one first, but he said 57 T-Bird first. That was the confusing thing.
Gotcha.
But no, this looks fantastic. I think he's done a great job, and his wife did a great job on her T-Bird as well.
So sorry, say what this one is again.
So this is I think it's a 34 Ford. It might not be a Ford, it might be a Chevy, but yeah, 1934. They got those big fenders, running boards kind of thing. That's very much a 30s, late 20s into the early 40s.
I like how miniatures gives you other knowledge.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike says it's a 39 Chevy.
The 9 Chevy? See? And Drew was saying 34. But yeah, it is kind of a crazy thing, particularly when you get to miniature, like to Matchbox Cars version of them. Lots of cars that I definitely want to get, but they don't make a Matchbox version of it. So you got to convert it from something else. But yeah.
This looks great.
Yeah, it definitely fits into that Fury Road aesthetic. And the all the dust on the lower half is brilliant.
And how there's more here at the end. Good job.
Yep. Nice work, Drew.
Mick Allen with an ABC Warrior.
Excellent. I haven't seen this many before, and I'm going to guess that it's from Warlord Games. I think Warlord Games currently have the 2000 AD, the license to make miniatures based on 2000 AD comics, and so the ABC Warrior is from those.
Nice.
I think there was in the original. I say the original, but the original Judge Dredd movie with Sylvester Stallone, the robot that what's his name found in the pawn shop was an ABC Warrior. Definitely not one that looked like this.
I love the rust detailing.
Yep.
Or I guess where
the chipping, yeah.
The chipping here, and then also how the metal looks kind of greasy.
Yeah, definitely. It's got that sort of oily, greasy kind of feel.
Is that just with a wash?
You can do that a number of different ways, but yeah, and putting a wash over areas, or it's like going in and painting it specifically on. You can mix up some black and brown and a little bit of gloss varnish to give you that sort of a glossy, greasy finish. There are also products from folks like AK or Vallejo that you can use for grease effects. But no, this one's looking really cool. I also like how so you got the chipping on a lot of the raised edges, the corners, like on the forearms and the fingers, but also around the mouth, as if it's been eating things.
I also like the color choice because it's the instinctual colors of like a warning or a caution sign or something like that. So you look at it and almost instinctively, because of color choice, you're like, oh, that's like a working robot of somehow. Like those are construction colors. Those are road sign colors. This robot's going to tell me something or eat me.
Yeah.
But hopefully, this robot's going to tell me the floors are wet.
Or it's going to eat you.
Or it's going to eat me. Hopefully it tells me the floors are wet.
Fingers crossed. But it looks great. Nice work, Nick. Cool.
Matthew with some bolt action commission, which he actually said he painted these as desert.
Yep.
That was part of the commission, and that was unique to his experience.
Right.
Like he hadn't painted a desert, I believe.
Cool. Yep. I think the deserts are a fun thing to mess around with. because there are a lot of colors. I mean, just here, looking at two paints that I got on my desk, we've got desert yellow and sand yellow, and they're both quite. I'll hold this up.
Yeah, you can see the difference.
No,
Yeah.
you can see the difference, but there's a bit of a greenish tinge to the desert yellow here. A little bit in the sand yellow, but so I know that when I think desert, I think something that's a little bit less yellow and more sort of reddish dust, because that's my experience of deserts growing up. But of course, deserts around the world are all a little bit different. So this one, I think, well, if it's bold action, it's going to be like northern Africa, Libya, that kind of thing.
Which is definitely more brown.
Yep, there's some more brown to it. But yeah, so it's always fun just messing around. And really, when you're painting an army, the consistency is the most important thing. But I do like the yellow on this. Looks very cool. I think the minis look great too.
It almost looks like desert right by the ocean or something, because there's like sand. It's like super. I guess desert is a sand, so I shouldn't.
Well, the bulk of the fighting in North Africa took place
on the beaches,
probably within 50 miles of the coast.
We have June bug minis with Bathelion by Reaper.
It's ages since we've had anything from June. But yeah, looking awesome. I think, yeah, this is really great. Obviously,
I love the color choice for the head.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
Yep. I know. Obviously, I love the purple and the gold. But you're right. That sort of fleshy orange kind of feel for that head is really cool. Yeah, that looks great.
And I think the dimension that they got within the
ridges.
Yeah, the ridges.
Yeah. No, you're right. I think there's some great depth there, and I love on the back, the shading around the head, back of the head is just really cool. That's the dimension that Gretchen was talking about as well. But yeah, looking really nice. Great, June. Nice work.
Very good. And you're right. It had been a little while since we saw something by them. Alejandro Lee with Gobapalooza.
Gobapalooza. Yep. So yeah, Games Workshop released these crazy
These are great.
goblins. Yeah. So they all.
So this is for Warhammer 40K?
Warhammer Age of Sigmar. And they all do something slightly different, but they function as a unit on the tabletop. And they're all like individually. If you were to run up and hit one with a hammer or a sword or something like that, they'd fall down. But they all each have a particular specific sort of special rule. The one to the, I guess on the left-hand side of towards the left-hand side of the screen. No, the one that's got his hands up. He's got a big scary mask on. So it's kind of like, he'll scare you and reduce your leadership, make it easier for you to run away. There are all sorts of things that they do. But yeah, I think the painting on these is great.
They're just fun.
Yeah.
They're fun. The colors are fun. They suit the build of the minis very well. The sculpt of the minis. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I love the work on the bottles, on the one on the left. On the back. Yep. They look great. And also the mushrooms on the right hand side, the sort of light purple. No, just a bit to the right. Bit to the right. Bit further. No, the right. Not the left. Yeah. The purple ones up on the. No.
I don't know. You're
those ones. Can't you see? Yeah, those ones.
These ones?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize these were mushrooms.
Yeah, I think they are.
I thought they have smoke coming from them.
Yeah, well, is it smoke or is it spores?
Oh, ooh.
I don't know, but just it's such a great job painting them.
I agree.
Yeah.
The gradation here is really fun.
Yeah. Well, and that smoke is just, or spores, the texture change to make it look like that is.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Don't want to be breathing that in.
No, thank you. They look great. Nice work, Alejandro.
And that is all we have for this week.
Okay.
So if you guys are interested in finding out more about the miniatures that people post, go ahead on to Facebook and type in Painting Happy Little Minis. Invite your friends if they're into miniature painting, and we will add them to our group, and you guys can see the different miniature painters. Also feel free to post and definitely ask questions there as well. We've been having some good questions as people have been working on this hobby more because they're staying at home. There have been some really good questions that have been coming up. So make sure that you guys join in. And even though we come here on Thursdays each week to paint, there's definitely still stuff happening in that group basically every day, which is really pretty cool to see and check out.
Yeah. Definitely good.
And with that, we are actually coming towards the end of our streaming today. We're not right at the end. We have about 7 more minutes, but I wanted to see where you guys are in your painting today.
Oh, where we got to?
Yeah. What were you able to accomplish?
Go first. I can go first. Yeah, I can go first. That's fine. So I have almost the whole base coat down. My new base coat. I'll take a picture of the color so that it's more accurate, because I feel like my window doesn't really pick up on it that well. But it's kind of like a peacock green blue. It's a little bit darker, but still pretty true to a mid-tone for what I want to get that emerald bit. Once I figure out, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research for this one for next time, because I'll finish up the base coat, and then next time I'll figure out a plan of attack to get that that actual like crystallized look on those spikes and on that belly. Dave, if you want to think of some ideas.
Yeah, I'll try and track down something I might have done in the past.
Helpful friend and coworker. If anyone in the chat, I'll post a picture up in the Happy Little Minis group. If anyone in the chat wants to drop some ideas,
some crystal facts.
I have no problem trying some things out. This is the first time I've decided to paint something like this, so we're gonna learn together. Hopefully it'll be like the Galaxy Dragon, where I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, and it turns out cool. Except this time I'll have like a smidge more forethought. And I'll be able to be like, yes, let's do things.
That's cool.
And I'll have a kitten next time.
Hooray! I feel like for your dragon, Gretchen, maybe because of all the texture, layering the dry brushing might be important.
I think for the smaller, for like the scales, as Dave was saying with Mia, and then we're doing like small scale crystals.
Yeah.
The dry brushing for the very small scales on the neck and on the legs might be a really good place. But for the larger, chunkier crystals, I think that might not have the right
effect.
Yeah, I'll have to. We're here to play. We're here to learn. We're gonna figure out what technique works to make this look really cool.
Cool.
I'm not worried about it. If I end up hating it, I paint over it. Meh.
Yep.
That's either it'll look cool or I'll give someone a free dragon. Now everyone's just going to be like, obviously it will suck.
Give me free dragon, please.
I'll take it off your hands. I'll take this. But yeah, I'm excited to see what works and what doesn't, and hopefully the chat gets to learn stuff as well.
How about you, Dave? What were you able to accomplish today? Stop. How much Tinny Tin can you paint?
All of it. All of it.
Looks great.
Yeah. It's coming along. One of the things that I have to do next, one of the reasons I wanted to get sort of the body done, or the legs done, is I know that that's how much red. So I've got red on this side and some of those plates. That's how much red I want on it, on the legs. And now that once I get all of this the trim done, I can put that on there and I can work out how much red I want on the top, on the torso. And make sure I get a good sort of balance out of that. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about him.
Are you going to put the red on the same side or opposite side of the bottom?
There'll be some. I'm going to have some red over here on this tilting shield. It's hiding around here, and red and black on here. And I think if I'm going to have any red panels, they'll be over this side. On the rest of them, basically that's where the red sort of sits, is on the left-hand side.
Gotcha.
But you also have that big sort of star pattern, chaos star pattern on top. So I'm going to do that on this one as well. But I've just got to work out sort of where it would be and how that imagery then translates down onto the legs. So I've got a lot of things going on. It's take a little bit of time.
Cool.
But, yeah.
To kind of plan out what will
plan it out, yeah. And then one of the things that I'm really excited about is once I've got all those things together, and then I can start on that. Where's a good example of it? Yeah, there we go. On that rust and the rust streaking.
Nice.
So I'm excited to get to that stage. So should be fun. Great.
And then you can tell us all about how to make rust.
Yep. We can do that. We can have a whole rust thing.
Your own rust. Homemade homebrew rust.
Excellent.
For me, I painted up more of Brienne.
Very cool.
More of her. Tried to get that blue. Why is it not focusing? It's really trying. And then got some gray on there as well.
Yep. Very cool.
Little bit better.
Going with a like a non-metallic metal look?
Well, maybe.
Maybe.
I put the gray down originally because I just thought I didn't want to start with the silver gray because I felt like the white, it might show through the white too much.
Right. Yeah.
But then I thought, well, if I am adventurous, maybe I can do some non-metallic metal. I might as well just jump into the deep end.
Just do it. Just do it. I'll be working on crystals. You'll be working on non-metallic metal. We'll be faking that contrast. Like, I feel like crystals. Yeah, I feel like crystals and non-metallic metal are very similar in that aspect because it is ultimately all about where the contrast hits.
True. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
You wouldn't think so, but
yeah.
Which is why I hate painting both.
You've just filled it right back to its essence. It's where the light hits it.
By the way, Dave, another Dave says, brilliant weathering. He loves it.
Thank you, Dave. Excellent. Cool.
And so with that, that is the conclusion of our show today. Thank you guys for joining and being part of the painting extravaganza that we have on Thursdays, where we talk about anything from sharks to miniature painting techniques.
I just have a lot of brain thoughts. And you hired me.
Oh, yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. We all have fun around here.
Actually, no, Rick hired me, so everyone can blame him.
Yeah, for sure.
But as I said before, if you guys are interested in keeping in touch with us, be sure to go onto Facebook, go to the Painting Happy Little Minis Facebook page and ask to join. If you aren't on Facebook, be sure to tag us on Twitter or Instagram at Game Trade Media, and we will see your pictures and your miniatures, and we can engage with you there. That is another place to post. I will pull from those sites as well if you post there, and be sure to tag us in those posts. So that's how I can find you, and we can talk about miniature painting and stuff. So thank you all for watching. Be sure to tune in next week, and we will see you at your friendly local game store.
Maybe. I'm going to mine on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
I'll be there.
With a mask.
With a mask. Oh, for sure, yeah. Wait. Here it is.
Oh, wow. It's right there.
It's in my pocket.
That's awesome. So yeah, go to your friendly local game store if they're open, and be safe. And till next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.